everyone, welcome back to the Justfly channel. My name is Jay and I'm the host of this channel, and today we have some exciting news coming over from iniBuilds. Now, they've wrote a technical focused development update on their up and coming A340 Airliner. Now, this is the second development update that has been brought out to us, and this one has a lot of information, so make sure you kind of like stick around and take in all of this information that we have. Anyway, before we do that, make sure you like, subscribe and comment down below what you found interesting about today's video. Let's not waste any time, let's get straight in with it. Now, starting off with what happened in the first A340's development update. If you can remember, iniBuilds showcased the A340 was going to be leveraging off the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 exclusive engine shaders effects, and this was to improve the fan blade animations. However, since the engines actually rotated in the wrong directions due to the simulator's limitations, this issue has now been resolved, and iniBuilds has now shared a new video preview of the A340's CFM 56 now spinning in the correct way, as that is now shown on screen right now. Now, Mike then actually went into some further refinements and shared a few more refinements of what's going to be happening, and that is including the A340's wind flex effects via a video that is now shown on screen just after the previous video is. You get the point. Anyway, they've increased the wing sensitivity whilst reducing the flex amount on takeoff. That's been said by pilots that have actually expected to see different sort of level of wind flex based on the fuel load and also braking action, wind velocity, and also gust strength. Now, speaking on effects, this is depending on the atmospheric conditions. The team has also shared a video preview of the A340's new rain effects on the windshields and also the engine. Now, to end up the external model preview topic and moving into the flight dynamics portion of the update, photos of the new sort of deployment illumination emergency slides were actually now included, and this is along with a computeral flight dynamic virtualization of the A340 on its final approach. The slides are intentionally and unintentionally supposed to be deployable if the doors are opened whilst the system is armed. Okay, moving over to the flight dynamics. Now, according to the developer, the A340 is designed to make full use of the new aerodynamics tools available in the new game. Now, this is including the new fuelage object implementations and so much more. This actually means that the full profile of the A340 engine pods and all of those will now be taken into accountability inside the simulator. In result, this will mean for a more authentic crosswind handling, side slip behavior, and drag modeling. The A340's taxi physics are also going to be powered by Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024's new ground contact models. Now, pilots will actually be able to experience a more direct, weighty feel when it comes to maneuvering the A340 on ground, and actually it will have a more overly aggressive steering input, and that could cause it to skid. A video is now shown on screen of how the taxi behavior will be. Now, to capture all of this sort of handling in the A340, this is going to be in the slate mode only configuration. iniBuilds has actually taken full control of the flap systems inside Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 by writing directly into the simulator for maximum accuracy. Actually, a picture is now shown on screen of what the ACARS actually shows when it's inside the slate only configuration. Now, for the A340, iniBuilds has actually shared a little bit more of the expansion of the engine simulation, and this is actually supposed to be covering the EGT, the fuel flow, the fade out behaviors, oil pressure, and oil consumption. Now, this is going to be paired with a refined thrust model. The new engine simulation aims to accurately capture the A340-300's underpower fleet, and the pilots can actually expect close to around about a 40 minutes climb to cruise at maximum takeoff weight, along with a sluggish acceleration compared to those modern Airbuses that you're normally used to. Along with all of those, what sets the A340 apart from its more modern siblings is going to be its handling behavior. Now, pilots will not just only need to flare the A340 even more than normal, but they're going to also have to do some correction with the rotation and also have their techniques up to point to avoid a tail strike on takeoff. This is due to the lower thrust available. The developers also reiterated that the A340 will be significantly heavier, and this will mean a less reactive feel compared to the humble A320 family. Now, to give you guys a quick example of what I mean, think of the side stick for a minute. This will not be as snappy as you would actually expect when you're bringing it back into neutral. Instead, you will now have to have a more smoother feel, and then it will be more progressive as the handling response will be inside of the roll. Okay, so this has quite a lot of information in. So if you guys want to, you could restart this section. Just go inside the description. There will be timestamps for everything, as you will probably already know from all my other videos. Moving on to this, iniBuilds has stated that they're going to be focusing on bringing a uncompromising focus on systems depth and accuracy inside of the A340-300. Pilots can expect a full suite of functional systems, including a detailed FMS with SID and stars, secondary flight plan, custom LNAV and VNAV, custom hydraulical systems, custom electrical systems, and so much more. In fact, pilots are already familiar with iniBuilds airliners, so they can expect these as normal systems simulated as well. Also, there'll be some new ones that will be coming along as well. Now, work currently continues on the IES-1 cockpit, and refinements have been made in to capture the less resolution character of the CRT displays, which will be compared to the secondary ones that will now be shown on screen, or if it's not, then that's because iniBuilds didn't make a actual image for it. Now, the team has actually added a degraded edge on the PFD's altimeter and vertical speed indicators, along with a pixelated terrain mask. Now, the per visual indicator, also known as the PFI, and the gyroscope standby altitude indicator both have unique features on the EIS-1, which are now being previewed inside of the development update that should now be shown on screen. Now, if you don't know, the PFI is a predecessor to the modern HUD or localizer symbolization. It actually provides a latitude guidance during the low visibility approaches and is actually available to pilots as an option in the EFB, and a photo of the PFI is now shown on the screen right now. A video preview of the analog standby altitude indicator was also included inside the post, and you can now see it on screen as well. I told you there was going to be quite a lot inside this. There's also supposed to be third-party integrations. Now, pilots will be able to allow communication with controllers over ACARS, and this will be via the MATDU or the DCDU. Now, a photo of the DCDU was actually included and is now shown on screen right now. The team has actually also previewed a new sort of minimum off-route altitude system, and this will be a grid that will now be coming to the A340's navigation display, and it'll be now shown on screen right now. Now, differences between the EIS-1 and the EIS-2 cockpits kind of like showcase beyond the CRT displays and analog standby instruments. iniBuilds has actually shared another example of how these are going to be different in their manifest in the navigation display. The first off is the EIS-1 ND will not actually display route curves unless a direct to or hold is actually inside. Preview of the image will now be shown on screen of how quirky this could actually come. Now, in effect to the model cabin realism, the iniBuilds team has included a dynamic temperature system inside of the simulation of the A340 airliner. Conditions are simulated based on the ambient temperature, PAX output, and also door status. The cabin is actually split into series of zones. This is including the cockpit, forward, mid, alt, cargos, and so much more. Now, these are going to be inched towards a set target using the recirculation fans and also trim air. Now, when on the ground, pilots can actually expect a rapid change in the cabin temperature after opening those doors. A video is now shown on screen of the example of what I just said. Now, pilots using GSX, iniBuilds has actually rewritten GSX support for the A340-300, and this will allow pilots to have the ability to tailor how GSX actually integrates with the aircraft, ground services to passenger flows. And to finally close out the development update, iniBuilds has actually shared a preview of the refreshed version of the EFB. Now, to improve the pilot's workflow across flight planning, loading, and navigation, the team has actually significantly updated the EFB interface and logic system. This is whilst also keeping the popular selections like, for example, Navigraph, the LiDAR charts, and those still things kind of like remain. Now, the layout has been refined to handle the growing number of pages and third-party integration. Preview of this is now shown on the screen right now, and this is due to the popular demand. iniBuilds has actually incorporated a functional printer into the renderization of the A340. Pilots will be able to print out flight plans. These are including takeoff data and also weather reports directly inside of the sim. Physical printout will be available on the tray table for easy reference inside of a flight, and a preview of this is now shown on the screen right now. That was a load of information to take in, and I can say it was because I'm the one that's literally reading out the script right now, and it was a lot of information. Now, no sort of release date timeline has been sort of like available just yet. And I think we're actually expecting this anyway, because this is still like way into development still, but they're kind of like giving development updates because it's probably coming a little bit more closer to the time of it being releasing, but we're still kind of like at that far distance where they probably still have to do beta testing and stuff. So just keep that in mind. There is no sort of release date and you're not actually expecting one now, but this is kind of giving you a development update of what has been happening with the A340, as I'm sure majority of you guys would like to see it inside the sim now. And that is it for today's update news. Yes, today's one has been a very lengthy one, as I said before. So yeah, but what I will say is that sorry for this video coming out late. Yes, this outro portion is being done on a different day instead of what you would actually think. Anyway, that's a completely different story, but I would like to say we do have still on Sunday Microsoft Flight Simulator news, and we have also in that news video the next sim update for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, as I didn't get to speak about it in its own separate dedicated video, just in case any of you guys are wondering how comes I haven't covered that topic. Anyway, this has been your boy Jay on Justfly, and as always, happy flying.
DJ Choice on the beat.